Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins with computer screens filled with complex codes. Following that, Max Tanner is introduced, walking towards a car. He soon meets Sylvia, and they receive intelligence about a notorious terrorist, involved in numerous fraudulent transactions. Their mission is to access the terrorist's computer, prompting them to maintain direct contact with their headquarters. Tanner and Sylvia set off for the terrorist's location, and manage to secure the terrorist's laptop. While extracting the laptop, they encounter a terrified young girl. Tanner reassures her to stay calm, and Sylvia also comforts her, advising her to remain still for her safety. However, Sylvia mistakenly shoots at a figure approaching them, only to realize it is a child, leaving her shocked. The gunshot alerts nearby terrorists, who then storm the area, firing indiscriminately. Forced to flee, they escape to the roof, descend, and continue running, reporting their progress to headquarters. At headquarters, their chief, Marie Leclerc, questions Tanner about the laptop. Initially, he denies finding it, leading to Marie's anger. Upon their return to the office, she scolds Sylvia for shooting an innocent child, warning her of the severe consequences. Tanner then reveals that he did retrieve the laptop, and also discovered crucial documents. On the terrorist's laptop, he discovers extensive evidence of money laundering operations, and numerous campaigns orchestrated to facilitate these illegal activities. Marie, however, reveals they cannot act immediately, because the terrorist has reported the death of his son, complicating their position. She instructs him that he will be transferred to Finland, and suspends Sylvia from duty. Moving on to Finland, undercover agent Vesa Jankovic visits his father in jail, a former military man, now distrustful of his son due to his secretive work. Troubled by his father's situation, Vesa returns home, and receives a mysterious message on his computer, summoning him to a meeting. At a cafe, Vesa meets Anya, a lawyer who offers assistance, knowing his dire need for money, and his desire to free his father. She reveals she can help with his father's case, which is burdened with numerous criminal charges. The family's downfall began with his father's arrest, leading to societal disgrace, and the deaths of Vesa's brothers, heightening his despair. Meanwhile, Sylvia, still distressed by her suspension, reaches out to Tanner, but their conversation is brief. While Anya takes Vesa to a hideout, where 3 accomplices await. They explain their plan, and Vesa agrees to join them. The narrative shifts to the president of Finland, celebrating Independence Day. Vesa and his new allies plan to kidnap the president during the festivities. They head to Helsinki, where the presidential palace is bustling with dignitaries, including the French Prime Minister Jean Moore, and his personal bodyguard, Sylvia. Jean Morel is escorted to his room by Sylvia. Meanwhile, Anya keeps a vigilant eye on the palace, coordinating Vesa's team. Inside, Raisa, disguised as a waiter, positions herself near the president. Vesa's team, dressed as police officers, waits outside. Anya informs them they have 17 minutes before they must act. Inside, a lively dance is taking place. Sylvia is dancing with Morel. Seizing the opportunity, Anya disables the security cameras, and cuts the power, signaling Raisa to approach the president. She draws her gun on him, prompting Vesa's team to storm in and open fire, ordering everyone to the ground. Wearing gas masks to conceal their identities, the team secures the area. As news of the attack spreads, Tanner learns of the situation, and realizes something significant is happening. He prepares to intervene. Inside, Vesa commands everyone to stay put, warning that any interference will result in immediate violence. With Anya's assistance, they disable all security systems, gaining full control of the building. Outside, police and rescue teams gather. Tanner arrives and receives a call from the intelligence team, requesting that he negotiate with the terrorists. He heads to the van stationed outside the palace, to meet the team, who informs him that the terrorists have not made contact, and the number of hostages is unknown. Meanwhile, Marie receives the alarming news that the president is among the hostages. Inside, Vesa assesses Morel, recognizing that he is not just any ordinary person. Vesa decides to release the other hostages, not wanting unnecessary harm. Sensing an opportunity, Morel claims that Sylvia is not his bodyguard, but an outsider, hoping to secure her release. This prompts Vesa to initiate contact with Tanner, who begins negotiations, insisting that all hostages, particularly the hostesses, be released. Gradually, the hostages are allowed to leave, but the president and Morel remain locked in separate rooms. Vesa assures Tanner that all hostages are safe, alleviating Tanner's immediate concerns. He outlines his demands through Anya. First, his father must be freed temporarily. Second, he requests a plane. And third, He insists on having a cryptocurrency expert present to advise them. Tanner seeks assurances about the president's and Morel's safety before proceeding. After verifying their safety, he agrees to Vace's demand of 150 million euros in Bitcoin. However, snipers positioned around the building are ready to intervene at any sign of trouble. Inside, hostages are being dressed in jumper suits for safe extraction. Vace confronts the president about decisions that cost lives, expressing anger over the loss of his family members and the lack of acknowledgement for their sacrifices. The president defends his decisions, emphasizing the broader European implications and the collective responsibility involved in such decisions. He shares a personal connection, revealing that his own mother was among those who perished, highlighting his emotional stake in the matter. Vace's father watches as people transfer the Bitcoin ransom to the specified account at the presidential palace. With the conditions met, a helicopter arrives. The money is confirmed to have been transferred, prompting Tanner to instruct Vace to start releasing the hostages one by one. Tanner then insists on checking his father for explosives or listening devices, finding nothing suspicious. Meanwhile, all hostages are dressed in attire similar to that of Vace's team. The hostages, including Vace's father, board the helicopter. Vace is relieved to see his father, but his father is dissatisfied with the situation, criticizing the approach. Anya contacts Vace's team with a shocking new directive: they must now kill the president. This revelation stuns everyone. As tension mounts, police forces begin entering the palace, navigating through the basement, where Risa has infiltrated with her own operatives. Gunfire erupts, complicating the situation. Headquarters attempts to reach Tanner, discovering he has also entered the palace. He joins his Delta team, spreading out to secure the premises. However, there's no sign of Vace or his team anywhere inside. As they emerge, unaware that Vace has already departed, they spot a car and realize Vace is inside, having used a tunnel to escape. He gives chase in his own vehicle. The car eventually pulls into a parking lot, where its occupants switch vehicles, all under Tanner's vigilant watch. Resuming pursuit, only for the occupants to realize Tanner is tailing them. The lead car accelerates, leading to a dramatic accident that leaves it overturned. Investigating, they find only the driver, who is shot upon realizing Vace has slipped away. Meanwhile, Vace and his team manage to board a plane, disguised as flight attendants. Amidst the chaos, Sylvia attacks a man, mistaking him for a terrorist, before they all board the plane and eliminate any threats. Soon, they discover the president's lifeless body, leaving them stunned. Anya contacts Vace to confirm the mission's success, allowing him to reach his waiting chopper and escape the country. However, headquarters catches wind of their escape plan. As the chopper lands, Vace boards with his father, only to face resistance from a police officer inside. A brawl ensues, and a stray bullet tragically strikes Vace's father amidst the melee. In the ensuing chaos, the team manages to eliminate their adversaries and secure their getaway. Following their border crossing into Finland, Tanner grows increasingly anxious upon learning of their location. He contacts Marie, who informs him that they've tracked the plane to an abandoned factory, where Belarusian authorities have no jurisdiction. So he decides to join the operation. Meanwhile, Vace bribes military officials for weapons and a vehicle, amidst widespread news of the Finnish president's assassination, plunging Finland into chaos. At the Belarusian border, Tanner meets Jonesy and Sinclair, Belarusian soldiers who agree to assist him in reaching the factory. Simultaneously, Vace moves to rendezvous with another criminal, Leonid Titov. Their meeting turns hostile, resulting in a firefight that leaves only Vace and Morel alive, who they take hostage. Marie, monitoring the situation, reports the violence to Tanner. Leonid Titov, aware of Sylvia's extensive European operations, identifies Morel as crucial for his plans. He coerces Morel into delivering a speech in Russian military attire, to influence global perception. Meanwhile, Tanner observes Vace being escorted as a hostage to a secure room. As the chase intensifies, Tanner pursues Vace's group inside the facility, exchanging gunfire. Amidst the chaos, a man corners Tanner, poised to strike, when Vace intervenes, saving Tanner's life just in time. Meanwhile, Leonid discovers Sylvia's involvement in the plot against his son, sparking his rage. He confronts her, attempting to shoot her, but Sylvia swiftly disarms him, turning the tables with deadly precision. Vace commandeers a vehicle, racing towards the border, with Tanner joining him on the roof. Sylvia, now accompanied by Morel, evades capture. Leonid mobilizes his forces, dispatching them to hunt down Sylvia and Morel. Sylvia, anticipating the pursuit, calls in a government airstrike, supported by helicopters, to cover their escape. The helicopter arrives, intended to extract Sylvia and the others, but they struggle to reach it amidst the firefight. Tanner provides cover fire, allowing them to reach safety aboard the helicopter. Inside the helicopter, Tanner continues to fend off pursuers with gunfire, as they make their escape. The helicopter lifts off, leaving their adversaries momentarily subdued. However, as they regroup, they prepare to exact vengeance on Tanner. Jonesy and Sinclair step in, providing cover fire, and allowing Tanner to reach them safely, bringing a temporary calm to the tumultuous situation. After a period of time, Leonid Titov sits down for a meal with Anya, expressing his determination to hunt down and eliminate Vesa for his betrayal. He suspects Vesa leaked crucial information, endangering their operations. Suddenly, another woman rises, and swiftly ends Leonid's life with a lethal stab to the neck, avenging her own grievances. She then turns her attention to Morel, administering a fatal injection, before disappearing. On a secluded island, she rendezvous with Vesa, providing him with a new identity and passport, enabling him to start over. Meanwhile, Marie meets with Tanner, a shocking revelation: the conspiracy involved more than just their group. It was a meticulously orchestrated plot, with multiple parties collaborating to safeguard Finland's future interests. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.